Hi guys, I want to talk to you parents a little bit about building fine motor skills. So our gross motor skills are the big muscles, your arms, your legs, and doing activities such as jumping, running, skipping, walking, moving your arms up and down. Those are your gross motor, so those big, large movements. Those are very important to learn, and I'm going to give you a little insight. When you're working those gross motor skills, be sure to cross the midline. Your midline is right here in the middle of your body. That's why it's called midline, right in the middle of your body. Each time you cross the midline, you are helping both sides of the brain develop. So anytime we are crossing the midline, we are building muscle memory and we are building our skills in using both sides of the brain. So I want you guys, when you're practicing those gross motor skills, practice crossing over as much as possible. Songs like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders. See how we cross here? You can cross knees and toes. Keep those arms crossed as you're going down. When you're doing itsy bitsy spider, go across and washing the spider out. Those are different ways that you can cross that midline, just doing regular, normal nursery rhyme type songs. Hokey pokey, putting your hand in and out. Again, you can cross that midline that way. Anything that you can think of, even just doing simple exercises at home, doing jumping jacks where you're crossing the midline. So that was tip number one, gross motor skills. Fine motor skills. So fine motor skills are those itty bitty teeny tiny muscles. So we are very proficient at using our hands. We use our hands every day, moms especially, when we're cooking, when we're cleaning, when we're writing, all of those things that we're doing, we are using our hands. We want to build up the muscles in our hands. Typically, when we are working with our hands, we are using 3 fingers. I know that sounds crazy because we're used to working with our hands so much and we don't really think about it as adults. But for little kids, it is important to build up the muscles to use these 3 fingers. These are called our special magic pincer fingers. And we as adults don't think about it, but these are the fingers that we use when we are writing. We grab a pencil and we write with these 3 fingers. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to build up those muscles for your kids. So first, I have here a bag of Play-Doh, and I will send you guys a recipe. I know that I sent you guys some Play-Doh the beginning of the year, I believe. It might be getting dried out at this point. I'm going to send you a recipe to make Play-Doh at home. Super easy. But Play-Doh is a great way to build those fine motor skills, and it's fun. The recipe that I'm going to send you is a non-toxic edible, so if your kids try to ingest it, that's okay. Building those muscle skills, just playing with Play-Doh. Let them squeeze it, let them roll it. I'm going to show you, if I can move my camera down a little bit. Rolling is helping build those fine motor skills. Picking and pulling apart is helping. Making balls with it. You are using those little bitty muscles in your hands to play with Play-Doh. So who knew? A fun activity. At home, if you are not a fan of Play-Doh, I understand, especially when you have a lot of carpeting. Something that I would do at my house is either or in the classroom using a plastic placemat or a piece of wax paper. You put that down, and if you're going to use the wax paper, I would tape it down on the side so that it doesn't move as much. But wax paper or a plastic placemat helps so that it stays, and teach your child to keep it on that little area. Sorry about that. They had a little announcement at school. So, Play-Doh, great way to build up those fingers, those muscles, to work those fine motor skills. Next, put this back. Next tip is using clothespins. Who knew, right? So I have here a very large clothespin, and I believe that I found a pack of these at the dollar store a while back. So dollar store, Walmart, pretty cheap, large clothespins. And just practice open and close, open and close. See, we're using those 3 pincer fingers to open and close. As your child progresses and gets a little bit more proficient with using the large one, then we move to a smaller one. This is just a chip clip that I got at the store. Again, practicing open and close. And when they get even more proficient, you can move it to a very, very small clothespin. And it takes a little bit more skill to open and close. So we're moving from the bigger to the smaller, and that's helping to build up those muscle skills. So probably wondering, I saw you get out this bowl. What's that about? So to make it more interesting, because this is not very fun to just open and close, you can have 2 bowls. So I have one. Mine is filled with butterflies. Any small toy or anything that fits into your bowl. It could be maybe cotton balls or toys, buttons, anything that you can find at home. Put it in one bowl, and then your other bowl is empty. And you're going to practice, let me move my clips out of the way. Going to practice transferring from one bowl to the next. So in the beginning, it might be just using these 3 fingers and moving the butterflies or whatever objects you have from one bowl to the next. As your child gets a little bit better at that, you're going to start using clips. And you clip the butterfly and move it over. As they build the skills in using the large, we move to the medium. It's a little bit more difficult and more challenging. And as they're able to do this, then you move to the teeny tiny, and that's even more challenging. Now, this isn't going to be all in one day where you're going to use all 3. It can be a progression. Maybe it's a few weeks, maybe it's a few days, however long it takes for your child to master the first, and then you move on to the next. I don't want you to try to rush and do all of this in one day. These are just some ideas of things that you can do at home to practice those fine motor skills. All right. Lastly, I want to talk to you about holding a crayon or a pencil. So first, I have 2 different pencils here. I have a large, this is kind of a thicker pencil, and it is great for those little hands. And then this is a regular pencil, which is a little bit thinner. So start with a thicker, same with crayons, start with those jumbos that are a little bit bigger. And at first, your child might want to grip like this. I have a trick that I use in the classroom. If your child is gripping with their whole fist, you can use cotton balls or a tissue, just plain old regular tissue. For a kid, I would use 1 sheet because my hands are a little bit bigger. I'm going to use 2. Ball it up, or if you have cotton balls, just use the cotton ball, and then have them grip with 2 fingers, the pinky and the ring finger. That leaves only these fingers, and just practice picking up and putting down the pencil. Pick up and put down. Pick up and put down. Once they've mastered that, then you can move on to practicing writing. Horizontal and vertical lines at first, tracing, and then writing. They're just doing lines at this point, that's okay. I know that I have asked them to do some drawing and some writing in our Schoology pages. It is perfectly okay for you to do some hand over hand, where your hand is guiding their hand at this point. It's perfectly okay for them to not be perfect. I do not expect perfection in any of their work. If they are doing this and going up and down, great job. If they're able to trace along, great job. Anywhere they are in their abilities and capabilities, that is okay. I want to see progress. I want to see what they're able to do. Do not worry about them not being perfect at it. We're not looking for perfection. Progress, not perfection. Again, these were just a few tips. I hope that you found them helpful. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I am always available to you guys. I'm here to help and to serve. So if you have any questions, contact me on Class Dojo or email, message me, or you can stop by our live meetings for parents at 10 a.m. or at 1 p.m. I can't wait to hear back from you, and I hope that this was a helpful tutorial. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.